as much as he deserved it, he never had. You may have had a similar experience, watching your parents struggle and hoping you never had to live through that kind of stress. But this is the great thing, and why you are smart to have picked up this book right now. You're at an age where developing a winning attitude about money, making a few smart decisions, and then automating them for the rest of your life, we'll get to that, can set you up for a lifetime of prosperous security far beyond what most of our parents have enjoyed. And there's an added bonus. When you're on a financial game plan fueled by the knowledge and inspiration this book will give you, you will be able to very politely ask your parents to stop giving you advice. The first rule of parenting is this: always dispense advice on everything, even if you have absolutely no basis for doing so. Like the time my 63-year-old father told me I shouldn't lift weights because people wouldn't find me attractive if I added some muscle, even though, at a little under 6 feet, I only weighed about 140 pounds. The same is true for money. No matter how bad parents are with money, they still want to tell you how to manage it. Take Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra was a star baseball player for the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies from 1985 until 1996. He earned more than $36 million during that period, opened a chain of car washes, and emerged as an investment guru with frequent appearances on cable TV, giving us kids financial advice. Dykstra filed for bankruptcy in July 2009 with less than $50,000 in assets and somewhere between $10 and $50 million in debts. By the next month, he was living out of his car and sleeping in hotel lobbies. Then he was charged with federal bankruptcy fraud and arrested for grand theft auto and possession of a controlled substance. As Dykstra explained while his house was in foreclosure, you pay your agent, you pay taxes, you buy the nice house, help the family out, and now you have, your dick in your hand, basically. And yet, and this is where the first rule of parenting comes in, Dykstra is still providing his son Cutter, an unfortunately named second-round 2008 Milwaukee Brewers draft pick, with financial advice. When Cutter received a high six-figure signing bonus, he gave it to his dad to invest. According to the New York Times, Dykstra subsequently lost that money too. Hopefully, your parents are better off than Lenny. But if a guy who, by his own admission, made $36 million and ended up sleeping in his car is still proffering financial advice to his son, that means nobody is safe. So the stakes are high. But the goal of this book is to help you, regardless of income or gender, end up with something even larger and more useful than Lenny Dykstra's dick in your hand at the end of each month. Now, maybe you can't relate to Lenny Dykstra. Perhaps because you weren't recently arrested and charged with placing ads for assistants on Craigslist and then exposing yourself to them when they showed up for the job interviews while you were awaiting trial on charges of drug possession, grand theft auto, and bankruptcy fraud. Perhaps the story of a young man I interviewed for a Wall Street Journal story is more relatable. When Felipe Matos enrolled in college to study graphic design, he never thought the degree would be the very thing that prevented him from pursuing his dream career. But more than $50,000 in debt later, he found himself working as an assistant building manager, with half his salary going toward repayment of his student loans. In order to get into my field, I've had to intern, he explained, adding that his dream job would have been working in animation at Pixar. But in order to avoid defaulting on his loans, and the ruined credit and exploding compound interest that would ensue, he had to defer his dreams. And that was the easy part. I often get depressed because I always wanted to make cartoons and 3D animations for a living, but can't, he told me at the time. His debt load was also affecting the rest of his life, too. I have a very loving and serious girlfriend, he said. She doesn't care about my debt and believes in me, but I'm afraid we can't have kids. The point is this: managing your financial life is not about spreadsheets and compound interest. It's about your life. The financial decisions you make can give you freedom or make you a slave. The phrase financial freedom gets